Chapter 9. As Mei looked into his eyes, she saw the truth of his words reflected in his gaze. You really feel that way about me? Mei found comfort as she rested her back against his chest. Searching for some sort of reassurance, she looked up at the sky. Yes, I wouldn't even be here, especially after you gave me the wrong number. That would hurt my pride with any other girl, but I don't have any pride with you. If I have to stand naked in the middle of town and confess my love for you, I will happily do it. Naked? Huh, yeah. If you would be mine and only mine. I don't know, Max. Mei shrugged her shoulders. There is no other that I want to be with. Let's just get to know each other more. Mei said as she spun around to face him. I know it's all backward after last night, but I just need some time. She was terrified of falling for a guy, only to get her heart broken. First, breakfast. Max pulls out 2 theme park tickets out of his back pocket. What? Mei became excited, like a little child. At the party, I saw a queen who needed to laugh and be silly. Every time I'm stressed, I hit the theme parks. You are really going to make it hard for any other man to have a chance. That's the plan, Max said with a devilish grin. He took her hand and led her back to the vehicle. This time, he secured her in himself. He got back into the vehicle. He glanced over at Mei and put on his seatbelt. I know you are going through a lot, but just please let me treat you the way you deserve to be treated. Okay, Mei could not deny. She had fallen for him already. How many times have you been to Disney? Mei held her hand up with her fingers in the shape of a 0. Are you serious? Your stepfather takes the girls at the youth center there every year, he stated, a bit confused. He never took me. Max's fist tightens around the steering wheel. He had to learn to control his rage. However, the thought of saving it all for Mei's stepfather seems to calm him. Well, Mickey and Minnie are expecting us for a private brunch. Hopefully, we won't be late. Yeah, right, Mei said, disregarding Max's comment. 6 hours later, Max hated that their first date was ending. Since he promised to bring her back at a decent hour and they were about an hour away from home, they had to get back on the road. Max admired the delightful smile that sat on Mei's lips. She sported the traditional Mickey ears with her name embroidered on the cap. She carried a plushy stuffed animal under her right arm and held onto Max's hand with her left hand. Max couldn't help but feel this was who he was meant to be with. Mei looked up at Max as they exited the park. He carried bags full of gifts for her mom and sister. She giggled at the Mickey Mouse cap on his head. What? Max said, knowing she had found him hilarious. Nothing, Mei said, turning her attention to the crowd of people leaving ahead of them. Train or boat? The train will probably be faster. Mei slumps her shoulders. Max glanced at her body language. Boat it is. What? She held in her amusement at his reaction. I don't want this day to end. It was 4:45 p.m. when they got to the truck. Max could tell Mei was exhausted, but forced herself to stay awake for him during the drive. Before starting the long campaign, he purchased coffee for both of them. I better gulp this coffee down, Mei said, forcing herself to sit up in the seat. No. Relax. I'm fine, but I'm your co-pilot, and co-pilots can't pass out on the driver. Look at it this way. If I get too tired to drive and you're already exhausted, who is going to drive? Point taken. But I feel bad. Don't. But if you feel bad, then you must have breakfast with me tomorrow morning. Mei reclined the passenger's seat and positioned herself to face Max. Deal. But I'm still up, so speak to me. Were you born and raised in Lexington? Yep, Max said. But I'm Trinidadian American. What? Mei sprung up. My dad was from Trinidad. Small world. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. We moved here after my father died. Mei spoke as she slowly drifted off to sleep. You are amazing. Less than an hour later, Max pulled into May's driveway. It was now 6 o'clock on the dot. Max exited the vehicle and stretched. He walked around to the passenger's side to wake May. He opened the passenger's side door and leaned in to remove the seatbelt. The bruise on her right cheek could clearly be seen now. Seeing it was like a dagger in his heart. He looked over her entire body, searching for other bruises. He saw bloodstain on her left sleeve, but May woke up before he could inspect it. "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry," May said, pulling herself to an upright position. "You are good." Max stepped back to give her room. "May, what's wrong?" May asked. She followed Max's gaze to her right cheek. "Oh, no." She grabs her cheek. "I don't know what happened, but I promise you whoever did that to you will pay severely." "No, it's okay, Max," May said, pushing him back so that she could step out of the vehicle. May quickly found her purse and pulled out a makeup case. She quickly concealed the bruise, but Max was visibly upset. He collected all the bags from the back seat and walked May inside. After they handed her mom and sister gifts, May walked Max to his car. "Wow, I kind of feel like my dad to me at Disney." May tries to lighten the air. Max had his hands in his pockets as he walked closer to her. May leaned against his truck. Max pressed his body against hers. "Are you saying I feel like your dad?" "Ew." "No." May wrinkles her nose and shakes her head no. His lips sought hers, giving them a well-needed kiss. "I'm going to take you away from here so that no one can ever hurt you again." "I'm okay, Max. I promise." Max nodded, but his rage was broiling beneath his skin. "You better get inside before I kidnap you." "Okay." Her cheeks flush at the thought. Max watched May disappear into the house before getting into his vehicle and driving away. April 13th, the best thing to happen to May was the newfound space from her rapist stepfather. She no longer felt the urge to mutilate herself and read self-help books on self-mutilation privately. It was easy to hide the physical scars with long sleeves, but the pain on the inside posed a challenge. Along with Cora's reassurance that God loved and cared for her, the books were also helping. May was experiencing the effects of spiritual healing. May's stepfather would stand outside her bedroom door during the night, but didn't go inside. She thanked God every day for that blessing. The sun blared through her white lace curtains. It was pretty, and today Max had a special day set out for them. Excited to see him, she leaped out of bed before being overcome by nausea. What was that about? She questioned herself as the wave passed. Is it some sign that something terrible will happen? She continued, thinking back to the last morning she had seen her father. She remembered his bright green eyes shining back at her. "When Daddy gets back, he will have a big present for you," he had boasted, spreading his arms far apart to show her how big. "Daddy, you will." She had been overwhelmed with joy. The sick feeling in her stomach started after her father had left for work that night, even though he had never disappointed her before. It continued to grow throughout the day. In her heart, she knew she would never see her father again. May froze at that memory. If things were going this well, something horrible was about to happen. She just knew it. May reflected on the thought. The ring from her cell phone startled her. She knew by the distinctive ringtone that it was Max. She decided not to answer. "I don't want him to feel smothered. Maybe that's where the bad feeling comes from." May thought. It was Saturday morning. Mentally, she made a quick plan to spend the day with Cora, who complained that they never hung out anymore. The phone stopped ringing. She knew Max would leave a voice message. May picked up her cell phone and called Cora. "Oh, you remembered my number?" Cora asked. "Cora, you're my girl. I just needed some time to get to know him." "Sure, whatever," Cora said. "What are you doing today?" "No plans. I was wondering if you want to go to the mall. I can see if my mom would let me borrow the car." "Well, I sort of have plans, but you can join us. What plans? Mei asked, sensing something was up. You will see. I'll be by to pick you up at 12. I will go hop in the shower. See you soon, Cora said before hanging up. Okay. Mei presses the end button on her cell phone. A sound played, letting her know she had a new voice message. Out of a strange fear, Mei decided not to listen to it. She showered and dressed when she noticed her bra seemed tighter than usual, as well as her top. She attributed it to her subsequent menstrual cycle. Her breasts were also sore, a sure sign of Mother Nature's arrival. Eating out almost every day at Orlando's premier restaurants wasn't helping either. She finished dressing and brushed her teeth. A wave of nausea crept over her, causing her to vomit in the bathroom sink. Her mother was passing by when she overheard Mei gagging. Are you okay? Her mother asked in Chinese. Yes, Mom. Stop sticking that toothbrush so far down your throat. Okay, she's right. I must have shoved my toothbrush too far back. Mei thought. However, the nausea continued. Slowly, Mei made her way downstairs into the kitchen. Her mother, stepfather, and sister were all beginning to eat breakfast. The smell of eggs and bacon seemed terrible to Mei. Good morning, honeybee. Song approaches her and plants a kiss on her cheek. Don't you think she is too old to be called by nicknames? Her stepfather said, while shoving eggs and grits into his mouth. Mei could only see a disgusting pig slopping up its meal in place of her stepfather. Song ignored his statement as she touched her daughter's forehead. She noticed Mei looked a little pale. Her skin felt clammy, and she seemed weak. Maybe she's hungry. Song thought. You don't look so good. Are you all right? It's nothing to worry about, Mom. English, please. He hated it when they spoke in Chinese. It made him think they were talking about him. He wanted to know about every household member, but it wasn't because he cared. Paranoia from all the secrets he had kept hidden plagued him day and night. Thomas feared Mei would grow enough courage to speak with a school counselor concerning him once more. A knock at the door broke the tension. Mei jumped to answer it. Cora stood on her front porch, grinning from ear to ear. She could barely contain herself. Cora had a fun surprise set up for Mei. Hey girl, you ready? She hugged Mei. Yeah, perfect timing, girl. Let me get my purse, Mei said, fighting her weakness and rushing back upstairs to her room. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Pollard. Cora steps inside. She could quickly sense the tension in the house as she entered the kitchen. Coming to this home for the past 10 years, she had felt the anxiety here more than she cared to remember, but this pressure was a little more intense than usual. Cora glanced at Mei's stepfather. He looked so bitter and dark. Usually, he hid it well, showing off what a talented person he was. She was surprised that he didn't greet her or acknowledge her presence today. How are your parents, Cora? Song asked, picking up dirty dishes from the kitchen table. Oh, Mom's good. She got her family counseling center now. And my dad just opened a family medical center next door to Mom's office. Cora happily reported. Well, that's great. Your parents are amazing people. You're a lucky girl, Song responded. Okay, I'm ready, Mei said, heading towards the front door. Where are you going? Thomas stands up from the table, his breakfast falling from his mouth, hitting his white t-shirt. His body language showed that he wanted to hurt Mei. Cora was genuinely surprised by his action. Never had he displayed such an outburst in her presence. One would have thought that it was his wife leaving the house to sneak off with her lover, which placed uncomfortable knots in Cora's stomach. She glanced over at Song to see if she would protect her daughter should things become violent. However, by her body language, Cora could tell she was not conditioned to defend Mei, which was heartbreaking for Cora. To them all. She was fed up with the way he treated her, especially after what had happened a month ago. She had promised herself he would never touch her again. If he did, she would kill him with his knife. The same stupid knife he proudly displayed on a plaque in the living room. Mei could never understand what was so great about that knife. She hated seeing it. The blade always made her feel like he kept it there as a personal threat to her, taunting her as if to say, "I could kill your mother and sister in a heartbeat. But why a knife? That would take more time and effort to harm someone. Wouldn't a gun be quicker, direct, and straight to the point?" She often thought. Cora opened her mouth to say something to Mei, but decided against it. The best thing to do was leave. Ready, but Mei was locked in a death stare with her stepfather. Cora observed her friend and she was more feisty than usual. She quickly grabbed Mei's arm, pulling her outside. "Bye, Mr. and Mrs. Pollard. Later, Ariaha," she said, while closing the door. Song relaxed. Thank goodness Cora moves fast, she thought. Mei stopped to hold her head. A dizzy spell came over her again. "That man makes me sick," Mei expressed. She walked towards Cora's car, stopping to steady her balance. Nausea seemed to get stronger.